Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 25, Verse 6, or prose, text 6. Sa eva Bhagavan Anantonanta Gunarnava Adideva Upasamkritamarša Rosha Vego Lokanam Swastaya Aste. Saha, that, eva, certainly, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Anantaha, Anantadeva, not Anantadeva, Anantadeva, Ananta Guna Arnavaha, the reservoir of unlimited transcendental qualities. Adideva, the original Lord, or non-different from the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Upasambhrita, who has restrained Amarsha, of his intolerance, Rosha, and wrath, Vega, the force, Lokanam, of all people on all planets, Swastaya, Swastaye, for the welfare, Aste, remains. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Lord Sankarshan is the ocean of unlimited spiritual qualities, and thus he is known as Anantadev. He is non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the welfare of all living entities within this material world, he resides in his abode, restraining his anger and intolerance. Purport. Sorry, please repeat. Lord Sankarshan is the ocean of unlimited spiritual qualities, and thus he is known as Anantadev. He is non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the welfare of all living entities within this material world, he resides in his abode, restraining his anger and intolerance. Purport. Anantadeva's main mission is to dissolve this material creation, but he checks his anger and intolerance. This material world is created to give the conditioned souls another chance to go back home, back to Godhead, but most of them do not take advantage of this facility. After the creation, they again exercise their old propensity for lording it over the material world. These activities of the conditioned souls anger Anantadeva, and he desires to destroy the entire material world. Yet, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is kind toward us and checks his anger and intolerance. Only at certain times does he express his anger and destroy the material world. Om Ajnanatimirang Sasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Kandanamostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this Anantadev is situated right at the bottom of the universe, below the Bhumandala, below the Bilasvarga, just above the hellish planets. So Shauni Bharta, he is, of course, that is the snake form of the Lord. But here the Anantadev is mentioned as white-bodied and with 4 hands. So now we should understand that in this material world, whatever peace we are enjoying, that is only the restrained anger of the Lord. The Lord is actually not pleased with us at all times. Because we have, just like a father would not like it if his son left home and disobeyed the father. The father would not like it. So similarly, Krishna actually does not like that we disobey him and go away from him and suffer as a consequence. It is not that Krishna is a sadist and just because we have left him, therefore he put us here and gave us suffering. That's not a fact. He gave us the best opportunity for happiness. Because in the spiritual world, we are not a spiritual world. The reality is that we are inferior and Krishna is superior. Right? He is infinitely superior to us. And he is the Adi Purusha, Govindam Adi Purusha. So he is the Adi Purusha, and therefore he is the original enjoyer. We are supposed to be enjoyed by Krishna. So in that capacity, if we understand, Purusha is the enjoyer, the male, and Prakriti means the enjoyed, the female. The female is supposed to be enjoyed by the male. The enjoyer is the male. So Krishna is the only enjoyer, and we are supposed to be enjoyed by him. We are Prakriti. We are classified as Para Prakriti in the Bhagavad Gita. Apareyam itastvanyam vidhyame prakritim param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedham dharyate jagat. 7th chapter 5th verse. It is mentioned like that we are the superior energy of the Lord and the material world is the inferior energy of the Lord. Now why it is like that? It is because Krishna is the Purusha and we are the Prakriti. And Prakriti is always inferior. The female is always inferior to the male. And even in our Varnashram system, the Varna, the woman always follows the man's Varna. So because the woman is supposed to be taking the man as the guru, of course the man must have the qualifications. That's another thing. So this original idea of this is coming from the reality of the spiritual world. That the male is always superior than the female. And Krishna being the original male, he's supposed to enjoy us. But because we have relinquished that relationship, we did not want to cooperate with Krishna's enjoyment. We wanted to be the enjoyer. So that is a male mentality. So we have assumed a male mentality. We are a female, spiritually speaking, but we assumed the male mentality of trying to be, wanting to be the enjoyer. So if we have to be the male, then the female has to be inferior to us. And therefore, this material world, which is dead, was manifested by the Lord. Because we are living, Krishna is also living. We are infinitesimal in quantity, Krishna is infinite in quantity. But if something has to be more inferior to this infinitesimal living entity, then that has to be dead. And that is why this material world is created as a dead place. Yayadam dharyate jagat. That's why, because of the living entities, this world is sustained. Everything moves, everything is animated because of the soul. This body will mix into the earth when the soul leaves. As long as the soul is there, it gathers and it works. So, Purushah prakristho hi bhungte prakritijan gunan. What is that? PPMA. Purushah, 1322. Purushah prakristho hi bhungte prakritijan gunan karanam gunasangosya sadasad yoni janmasu. Purusha means here the living entity. Prakriti means in the material energy. So the material energy is Prakriti and the living entity is classified here as Purusha. But actually we are also Prakriti. Why Purusha here? Because that is our false ego, false identity of a male. Just like nowadays there is this problem of transgenderism. The man is trying to become a woman, woman is trying to become a man. And they are cutting their bodily parts, mutilating themselves and trying to change their sex. It is not possible. They can mutilate their bodies all they want, but it's not possible. So similarly, we may try to be delusional and try to become a male. It is not possible. And therefore, in this world, the woman or the man, both are actually having the male mentality of wanting to be the enjoyer. So in a relationship as well, although one is a woman, one is a man, both of them have the tendency to want to enjoy in the relationship. So that's a male mentality. Wanting to serve is the female mentality, the subservient. So even you see the most macho man, Hanuman, is so built, so strong, but actually that's female because he only worked for the pleasure of Ram. That is actually female position, cooperating with the pleasure of Ram. His only pleasure was to find pleasure in Ram's pleasure. So therefore, that is the proper understanding. So in this transgenderism started right at the beginning when we try to be the enjoyer. So when we want to be the enjoyer, we cannot be in the spiritual world, in the Vaikuntha. We cannot exist. Because only enjoyer there is Govindam Adi Purusha. Everybody else is Prakriti. So when we want to be the Purusha, then we are given another world where we can be the Purusha with another Prakriti which is inferior to us. So it is not, why I told all of this, because it is not that the Lord is a sadist. There is a reason why He put us in this material world, not to make us suffer, to actually give us the best chance of enjoyment. But why do we suffer then? Why did He create the laws of karma? That if I do something, then I get some reaction. Why He should not have instituted such a law of karma? He instituted a law of karma means He is a sadist. He wants me to suffer. But the reality is that not only we came to be the Lord, so many billions and trillions and gazillions of souls have come with the same mentality. And all of them, of course, you cannot be just having a relationship with dead things, right? You need living entities also. So there is cooperation. And then each will help each other, demigods and the humans, and everybody help each other, cooperate with each other, and there can be peace. And people can satisfy the senses. But if we encroach, upon others, then we will have to pay for it. And that is only fair. And therefore the law of karma came into the picture. So in this way, there's a whole explanation we can give about. So anyway, the Lord is always working for our benefit. He's always Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. He's always our friend and our most well-wishing friend. There are many words for friend: Mitra, Sakha, Bandhu, all these dost. All these words are for friend, but none of them can be as deep as Suhrit. Suhrit means, Hrit means heart, Hridayam. Suhrit means, Su means good, good heart. It means he's always well-wishing. From the heart, he always has our goodwill. From the deepest recesses of his heart. So, if he is that benevolent, why are we suffering? Because of our own misgivings. So Kṛṣṇa is Suhridam. He's always our well-wisher. He has created this world. Not only did he create this world to facilitate our distorted desire for enjoyment, but he also gave the facility how to turn back to him as well. And that's why this Kṛṣṇa Veda Purana. What? माया मुग्ध जीवेर नाही स्वतः कृष्ण ज्ञान. माया मुग्ध जीवेर नाही स्वतः कृष्ण ज्ञान, जीवेर कृपाय कैला कृष्ण वेद पुराण. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort. But out of causeless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled the Vedic literature and its supplements, the Puranas. We cannot revive our Krishna consciousness with our own efforts. Then how to go back to Krishna? How to revive our Krishna consciousness? By the Vedic literature and the Puranas. Therefore, it becomes very important for us to read these scriptures, especially those which are given by our spiritual master, the essence of all Vedic scriptures, which is Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. We don't have the wherewithal, the time and the energy to study all the Vedic literature. Not just the time and energy, it requires an exceptional degree of learning to understand the Vedanta Sutra or the Vedas. But such exalted knowledge is presented in a much simpler manner in the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. Like, for example, why is Vedas difficult? Why are the Vedas difficult? What makes it difficult? Vedanta Sutra is because the Vedanta Sutra starts where we are. It suggests us to question. Instead of giving the answer directly, it makes us question. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. First question. Inquire about yourself. Who are you? Have you thought about it? Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Now that you have human life, you have the intelligence to understand. So have you thought about this? So in this way, it is going step by step to the final conclusion. But Shankaracharya and such impersonalists, they have, instead of actually following the chain of logic mentioned in the Vedanta Sutra and reaching the ultimate conclusion, they have played around with these questions and distorted the meaning. And what happens because of that is, when we read Vedanta Sutra, many people, they don't like an answer given to them. Oh, this is so like final. What is that? There's a finality to your Krishna conscious movement. You say that Krishna is God. You don't allow us to explore. God is not just one person. It's just everything. There's more to it than just Krishna. They think like this. They think we should explore, and Vedanta Sutra allows us to explore, whereas the Puranas and Bhagavad Gita is very order giving kind of, this is the truth, this is the truth, this is the truth. There's no, it does not allow us to question. This is how they think. But this is wrong understanding. The Vedanta Sutra allows you to explore, not allows you to explore. There is a very, very specific route that the Vedanta Sutra actually is taking us. Step by step, by step, by step, to the final conclusion. We cannot just explore wildly, whimsically, using those statements. But Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, they are the conclusion of all Vedic learning. They give us the answer. Whether you have the time to explore, whether you have the intelligence to explore, wherever, never mind, take it. This is the truth. That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and you have to just surrender to it. Just like Shankaracharya. What did he say? Bhajagovindam, Govindam bhajam mudhamate. You are a fool. Don't try to, what is that? Samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati dukrin karane. Dukrin karane means these grammatical rules. Dukrin is a grammatical rule in Sanskrit. There are many such rules. So, these grammatical adjustments and manipulations of Sanskrit and trying to churn out some meaning out of that, whimsical meanings, this is not going to help you at the time of death. Sannihite kale nahi rakshati. It will not save you. Therefore, Bhajagovindam, Govindam bhajam mudhamate. You are a fool. Oh, foolish mind, just worship Govinda. Don't be distracted by anything else. So that is the mercy of Kṛṣṇa in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Okay, don't waste time. Here is the answer. But it does not mean that we should not understand the logic that leads to that conclusion. Bhagavatam also has such logic leading to the conclusion. What? Nicely, at least try. I don't think that pose is a trying. Sit properly. So, what was I saying? Yeah, there is sufficient logic that is explained in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, especially in the Bhagavatam, even more so, taking us all the way to the final conclusion. But we have to, that's why if you see the prayers of the personified Vedas, many devotees have hard time digesting that. And even the Narada Muni's allegorical story of the forest of the material world and his instructions to Prachetas, it is very hard to grasp, very difficult to grasp easily. So it takes a lot of explanation and effort to really understand. But nonetheless, one can advance in Krishna consciousness if he accepts the conclusion that Krishna is worshipable and one takes to chanting of Krishna's name. Now coming back to the crux of today's text, if we go, you see this Rosha, Amarsha Rosha Vega, Lokanam Swastya Aste. Upasamhrita, Amarsha. Amarsha means intolerance. So, we are in this material world at the displeasure of Krishna. We are here in this material world at the displeasure of Krishna. Krishna is not happy with our situation. He is actually angry with us. Why are you not coming back to me? Why are you so foolish as to stay here and suffer? And he waits for 311 trillion 40 billion years, which is a lifetime of Brahma, waiting for us. Okay, he will probably change. Every lifetime he is just waiting. In fact, with great hope he is waiting. Right? With great hope. Asmin nihe haiva bhave bhavi madunmukha iti ashaya tava atyantam nartitosmi sada agnavat. This sentence Narayana told Gopakumar when Gopakumar entered Vaikuntha back from this material world. He came back to God, went back to Godhead, and when he went back, this is the first thing the Lord said to him. For so long, hope had me dancing like a fool, thinking perhaps in this lifetime, or this, or this, or this lifetime, he will finally turn his face towards me. And chalam cha nalabhe kinchid yenadyam paripalayan nibandham swakritam bhratar anayam yatmanah padam. But I could find no pretext on which to bring you to my abode. Okay, actually this is very deep. So, firstly, he has been waiting. He's as Paramatma, he is waiting in everybody's heart, right? He's giving us all the facility for living in this world. But also he's waiting when he will turn back to me. And he's thinking, you see, in this lifetime, maybe in this lifetime he will come back. Maybe in this lifetime he will come back. Maybe in this lifetime. Trillions of lifetimes we have spent like that. And he was very hopeful. So hopeful. Although we are hopeless. He said, hope had me dancing like a fool. When a small child, when a father comes back home from work, small child will be jumping, hey, Papa has come back, Papa has come back. That kind of hope, that kind of dancing he was doing, that we will come back this time. He was celebrating already in advance that we would come back. But we disappointed him. We disappointed him every single lifetime, and we did not turn back. And he is saying now, Agnavat, I was dancing like a fool, hoping that you would return in this lifetime, in this lifetime, in this lifetime. So the Lord called himself a fool. Instead of calling us a fool, he gave up on us. He called himself a fool for having hope in us. That's how hopeless we have become in this material world. And you see what he says in the next verse. Very, very poignant. You see, but I could find no pretext on which to bring you to my abode, dear brother, and still follow the timeless laws that I myself have created. I have created these timeless laws of karma, and I wanted to find a pretext, some loophole to bring you back. Actually, he does give us loopholes to serve the pure devotee. That's the loophole, actually. We don't qualify to go back to Kṛṣṇa at all. But just like the Nalakuvar and Manigriva, the Yamalarjuna trees, Damodar, Leela, Kṛṣṇa liberated them. What did he think when he met them? He will come back here. What did he think? This is what he thought. When Kṛṣṇa came as the baby boy to fell the two trees, before doing that, he thought this: Devarshir me priyatamo yadimao dhanadhatmajo tat tatha sadhayishyami tad gitam tan mahatmana. You see? Although these two young men, Nalakuvar and Manigriva, the sons of Kuvera, these two young men are the sons of the very rich Kuvera, and I have nothing to do with them. This is our position. Kṛṣṇa has nothing to do with us. Kṛṣṇa is not interested in us. Of course, he's interested, but we have disappointed him so many times that we don't deserve his attention, actually. But Devarshi Narada is my very dear and affectionate devotee. And therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. So here the point is, Kṛṣṇa is not personally interested in Nalakuvar and Manigriva directly, because they were, intoxicated rascals who were not interested in Kṛṣṇa at all, and they were just enjoying their senses. Why should he be interested? But Narada is very dear and affectionate to Kṛṣṇa. Narada was the one who cursed them, right, to become trees, but then he said, Kṛṣṇa will come and deliver you. And because Narada's words were there, Kṛṣṇa had to obey Narada's words, because he loves his devotees so much. So for us to go back to Kṛṣṇa, the only way is to please his dearest devotee, the pure devotee of Kṛṣṇa. And that is what is meant by Guru Seva. The Guru has to be a pure devotee of Krishna. So, that is a loophole. That is a pretext under which Krishna can bring us back. But in this case, he did not want to go to the pure devotee for many, many lifetimes. Pure devotees are always there, but we did not care for so long, right? There was no pretext on which to bring you to my abode. Now you see, for example, we offer garlands to Krishna, right? We offer the food to Krishna. Those plants which had those vegetables or fruits or flowers that are being offered to Krishna, or this wood that the altar is made of, that tree which, that's a pretext on which Krishna can save that soul who was in that tree's body, or in all these trees' bodies, which are giving flowers and fruits and vegetables. Those trees must be thousands of kilometers away from the temple. The vegetables are coming sometimes from Malaysia, from China, from Australia, from Europe. The fruits are also coming from elsewhere. The flowers are coming from India or Thailand or something. The plant is so far away, but Krishna has arranged somehow that the flower has to travel, and when they come here, not all flowers come to the temple. Some flowers come to the temple. They go to many other places. Come to the Krishna's lotus feet. So the offering of that plant has come all the way here. So if you see how Krishna has made the arrangement, that means that soul has done something in their past life, that it has to experience this thing, that the flower has come somehow to Krishna. That's why even if somebody gives whatever, we should take. It is not whether it will come in use for us or not. No. Krishna does not need anything. Even the rice that we cook, the plant from which the rice comes, all those plants are benefiting. The dal, where it is coming, those plants are benefiting. The banana trees that are cut and put here for the well, they are benefiting. These mango trees always benefited. Leaves are taken out every time. So they are offering something to Krishna. How? Because the devotees are engaging such souls in Krishna's service. So it is not that, oh, we don't need this, we don't want to have. No. We don't need, but the soul needs Krishna. That soul needs Krishna. So therefore, we have to engage everybody and everything in Krishna's service. You should always remember that. So somehow or other, there is a pretext. Because by that flower coming, or the fruit, or the vegetable coming, or the grains coming to Krishna, that soul is becoming benefited and making advancement. Next life, it will get a little higher body, human body even maybe. And a lot of its karma will become gone. So in this way, sometimes we think, oh, this person is giving only $2, let me not take it. What is the use of $2? But that soul will benefit even if he gives ashes. At least something he has started giving. So give, and then slowly that person will get all benefit. We also started like that. In some lifetime, we started with a plant, the flower came here maybe. Who knows? Or maybe our family member became a devotee. Now we sometimes, become upset if our family members do not accept our Krishna consciousness. Our parents did not support us when I came to Krishna consciousness. We may become a little upset. But honestly, we may have been that parent in some lifetime. And because of that child or something, we are now benefited and now coming to Krishna consciousness. We do not know how we started. Ajnata Sukriti. Ajnata Sukriti means doing pious activities without our knowledge. Like this plants, these animals, the milk that is coming here. Some people are vegan. No, we are not vegan. We will take the milk of the cow and offer to Krishna and drink and eat prasadam, drink prasadam. If Krishna likes milk, we will give. No, that's not vegetarian. We are not vegetarians. We will eat whatever Krishna wants to eat. Milk is not from a vegetable, but we will drink. We will make paneer, we will do that because it is something that Krishna takes, and whatever milk, whatever the cow is going through in a dairy industry, all horrible things, it will become beef after all. But that milk coming to Krishna will somehow save that cow. Next life, you may get a better chance. So in any way, if we just follow the principles of Krishna consciousness, all auspiciousness will be there. But if we try to make it auspicious without Krishna, this veganism, all this is actually trying to make things auspicious without Krishna in the center. That is actually completely fallen. Because if I'm a vegan, I'm eating plants. Who gave me the right to eat plants? The plant has given its life for my tongue. So eating plants is also sinful. So it is not that I'm pure now because I'm vegan. No. As much as the sentiment is good that I want to kill animals, but plants, they don't have life. They have. So the only way we can eat sinless food is prasada. When we offer to Krishna, then all sin is wiped out of that. Krishna himself takes it, and that plant is benefited, we are benefited, everybody is benefited. The cow is benefited. So that's the only way auspiciousness can be brought to the world. But Krishna is saying, I could find no pretext on which to bring you to my abode and still follow the timeless law. I could not break my laws. I created loopholes. Even then you stayed far away from me. You were so expert at staying far away from me that even after all these arrangements, which through devotees I could have made for you, you were obstinately sinful and stayed away from me. That's what Krishna is saying here. Even after I have done extensive arrangements for your salvation, but you were so adamant. I could not find any pretext to bring you back. You showed me, you see how Krishna is, how humbly he is putting himself. You showed me no mercy. And as I considered this, I grew impatient, full of anxiety to receive your favor. What? Receive our favor? What favor we can give Krishna? He considered it our mercy to show him affection. Look at his language. It should break our heart. If we still don't become a serious devotee after reading this, there's nothing that will. Our heart is so stone-hearted, like today's song. Dev Vasurihiya Pashan Diya Kemone Gadiya Ache. Vasudev Ghosh is singing. How has the Creator created, has put a stone in the place of Vasudev Ghosh? Why am I not getting any attraction for Krishna? Instead of having a heart, I have a stone in its place. Stone-hearted. So Krishna is saying, you showed me no mercy, and as I considered this, I grew impatient, full of anxiety to receive your favor. So I transgressed my eternal code of conduct and arranged for you to take your current birth. See, he transgressed my eternal code of conduct and arranged for you to take your current birth. I haven't read this book, the book Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Even for us, he does that. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, there is this explanation. Why? And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained as well. Two different explanations. Why the great devotees were born in low-class families and not high-class families. The Chaitanya Bhagavat explains that the reason is in order to purify those families, because otherwise they would have no chance. So pure devotee, Krishna sends those pure devotees who came in Gaur Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, in all downtrodden families, low cultured families, so that they become purified. That's one explanation. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told another explanation, which is if they all took birth in high class families, then the people in the lower class families would be discouraged. Okay, we will never have a chance. See, all the pure devotees also have to be in Brahmana families only. Otherwise, nobody can become. You see, it is true that nobody can become. Every devotee is from a high class family. So they will be convinced that they can never go back. So to encourage them, Krishna, and not only in their families, but other people who are also of a lower caste or something like this, to encourage them also by seeing the example. Oh, he has taken birth in, like for example, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was born in Kayastha family, which is a Shudra family. But look at his erudition. The greatest scholar of the world will be no match for him. No match. He's such a big scholar. So how is that? So that is to encourage us. So in this way, sometimes Krishna transgresses his eternal code of conduct. Although Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Bhrashto Vijayat. They're supposed to take birth in exalted families, but they took birth in, he transgressed his own law. So I don't know what else was Krishna referring to here, how he transgressed his eternal code of conduct. But so out of impatience, he did that. Out of impatience, he sends his pure devotees. He comes himself, yada yada dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, abhyuthana dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. He comes when there is dharmasya glani, when there is decline in dharma. He becomes impatient. No, they will again go to hell. Let me come. And then when he comes, when he says, surrender to me, we are impatient. Why should I surrender to you? Who are you to say, ask me to surrender? We are dog obstinacy. We have no humility at all. So he sees that even me coming is not doing much. Okay? I will come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? Then I will send my devotees. Now he sent Prabhupada. He is sending repeatedly out of impatience because he wants to somehow get us back. And after all this arrangement, this is just, I'm talking about like 5,000 years arrangement. Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all these acharyas and down to Prabhupada to pick us up. But these kinds of arrangements he has been making in every single yuga, every single moment he is making so much arrangement. In not only this planet, all the planets of all the universes. How much Krishna is thinking about us and making all arrangements for us to come back to him. And yet here we are, not interested. Here we are, not interested at all. Want to go back. We are not interested. So that's why he gets angry. He also has limits. His limit is very big, but he has limits. Unlimited, of course. But he also has anger. So what is he doing? Now we are at peaceful, right? We don't have a war here. We don't have, there are wars in other parts of the world. They are facing the wrath of Krishna already. The anger of Krishna because of their exceedingly sinful activities. But even then, we don't have a big war at this point, for us at least. There is no big natural calamity. We have relatively comfortable lives. That is not the pleasure of Krishna. That is the restrained anger of Krishna. Restrained anger. He is only controlling his anger. That's why we are peaceful. Krishna's pleasure is when we actually take to devotional service. When we take to Krishna's name, when we chant Hare Krishna, then he becomes actually happy with us. See? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Haridas Thakur, Iha sabar kon mate hoive nistar, tahar hetu na dekhe e dukh apar. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is expressing the same pain that Krishna has said. How will these yavanas be delivered? Yavanas means meat eaters. To my great unhappiness, I do not see any way. So all of us in this material world, there is no other way. I don't see any way. If they are meat eaters, not even following anything, how will they be delivered? Then Haridas Thakur, you see what he says? Haridas kohe, Prabhu, chinta na kore ho. Yavaner samsara dekhi dukha na bhave ho. Haridas Thakur replied, my dear Lord, do not be in anxiety. Chinta na kore. Do not be unhappy to see the condition of the Yavanas in material existence. Means, you see, Purport. These words of Haridas Thakur are just befitting a devotee who has dedicated his life and soul to the service of the Lord. When the Lord is unhappy because of the condition of the fallen souls, the devotee consoles him, saying, "My dear Lord, do not be in anxiety." This is service. Everyone should adopt the cause of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and try to relieve him from the anxiety he feels. This is actually service to the Lord. This is so different from any other place. When you go to temple, they don't teach you this. They don't teach you to come to the temple to relieve Krishna's anxiety. They will go to Krishna and pray to him to relieve their anxiety. Oh Krishna, please relieve me of my anxiety. I'm so worried. Please look at me. Please answer my prayer. That's what we're doing. But nobody comes to Krishna and says, "Krishna, what can I do for you? What is bothering you?" And we don't need to ask. Krishna actually many times mentioned already. The thing that bothers him is us. Is all these conditioned souls not interested in Krishna? That's what bothers Krishna. So Haridas Thakur said, "Chinta na karigo. We will preach." And he explains in the next how the different ways that the soul is being delivered by the holy name. So this has to be understood properly, and we have to take up the cause of Krishna and work for his satisfaction. What will satisfy him? 3, what is that? 8, 32. Hasam hareravanatākhila loka tīvra shokashru sagara vishoshanamatyudaram sammohanaya rachitam nijamayayasya bhrumandalam munikrite makaradhvajasya. You see, akhila loka tīvra shokashru sagara. This is very Akhila loka tīvra shokashra sagara. A yogi should similarly meditate on the most benevolent smile of Lord Sri Hari, a smile which, for all those who bow to him, dries away the ocean of tears caused by intense grief. The yogi should also meditate on the Lord's arched eyebrows, which are manifested by his internal potency in order to charm the sex god for the good of the sages. So we are suffering from so much grief, tīvra shoka, ashru sagar, ocean of tears. Akhila loka, of all persons of all the worlds, millions and trillions of planets and trillions of universes. So Krishna is feeling the pain of, we already have, our lives are miserable in this material world, right? And Krishna knows the misery, the sufferings of every single soul. We think we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in this room. There are so many ants, there are so many germs, we don't even see. There are millions of living entities in this one room. Krishna knows the pains of each one of them and of all creation. Imagine the amount of tears that they are undergoing, they are shedding, each one of the souls. And Krishna is in awareness of all of that pain. How much it will bother him. You see, he is thinking, oh, if you only bow down to me and come back to me, you don't have to go through all of this. So that much pain Krishna is feeling, and we don't even care. How to care for Krishna? We have to, what? One more. So how to care for Krishna? By preaching, by distributing the books, by guiding people how to follow the teachings, make them chant. We ourselves chant and follow everything properly and teach this to others. Otherwise, we are only we are living at the mercy of Krishna's restrained anger only. He's only angry with us. Sometimes he shows his anger with destruction, and sometimes he keeps it not destroyed. In both phases, he's only either anxious with us or angry with us. But we can only please him by devotional service. So let's take to Krishna consciousness and relieve Krishna of his anger and of his anxiety. So I'd like to stop here. Any questions? You will stop. Huh? Quick. Don't have much time. Not amsha. Amsha.
So that is a spark. So if there is Krishna's Balaram expansion is like this, it comes to Anantasesh at the last. So that means the power is only spark?
No. Amsha not only means Vibhinnamsha. We are Vibhinnamsha. We are the smallest infinitesimal Amsha. But Krishna is Amsha. He is the plenary portion. You look at your dictionary. Where is your dictionary? Why your dictionary is not there?
It's in.
Portion means usually it's part. But plenary portion means Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Eva Avashishyate. Purnameva Avashishyate. What remains is Purna again. You take one away from one, how much will remain?
Full only. One away from 1, 0.
That is normal mathematics in this material world. You take one out of one, it will become 0. In the spiritual world, you take one out of one, one will remain. You take another one will remain. How many times do you take one? One. So portion here, when Vishnu Tattva portion is plenary portion. Plenary means you see in the dictionary. Same power. Okay. Deeparchare vahe dashantaram abhyupete, like that. Okay. All right. We'll end it here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.